Hello everyone, it's me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to Catechism for Kids. Today we're going to share an amazing story about a famous saint and a very, very big wolf. Have you ever heard of Saint Francis of Assisi? He was a man who loved God and all of God's creation so much, from the tiniest bird to the biggest animal. Well, our story takes place a long, long time ago, in a beautiful little town in Italy called Gubbio. The people of Gubbio had a huge problem. A giant, ferocious wolf was roaming the hills nearby. They were so scared. This wolf wasn't just hungry. It was causing a lot of trouble. It would sneak into the fields to attack their farm animals, and it was so fierce that people were afraid to even step outside the town walls. Can you imagine being that frightened? Everyone was worried, and no one knew what to do. They tried to fight the wolf, but nothing worked. The fear in Gubbio just kept growing and growing, but then something wonderful happened. Saint Francis came to stay in Gubbio. When he heard about the scary wolf and how terrified everyone was, he didn't feel fear. He felt compassion. He knew he had to do something to help. Townspeople warned him, "Francis, don't go out there. The wolf is dangerous." But Saint Francis wasn't planning on using weapons or traps. He had something much more powerful: his faith in God. He told the people, "I am going to meet Brother Wolf." He called the wolf Brother Wolf because he believed all of God's creatures are part of one big family. So, trusting completely in God's protection, Saint Francis walked out of the town gates all by himself to find the wolf. As soon as Saint Francis entered the woods, the wolf saw him. It bared its teeth, its eyes full of anger, and with a mighty roar, it charged straight at him. It looked like it was about to pounce. But Saint Francis stood his ground. He wasn't scared at all, calmly lifted his hand and made the sign of the cross. Then he spoke to the wolf with a firm but gentle voice. He said, "Come to me, Brother Wolf, and promise that you will not harm anyone anymore." And then the most incredible thing happened. It was like a miracle. The wolf, which had been so fierce just a moment before, suddenly stopped in its tracks. It closed its big jaws, lowered its head, and became as gentle as a little lamb. It trotted over to Saint Francis and lay down peacefully at his feet. It was completely calm. The wolf seemed to understand that Francis was a friend, not a foe. Saint Francis had faced danger not with anger, but with the power of peace and faith. Saint Francis then knelt down and began to speak to the wolf, just like he would speak to a person. He said, "Brother Wolf, you have done terrible things in this land. You've hurt animals and scared everyone, and they are angry with you. But I want to make peace between you and the people of Gubbio." Francis understood something very important. He knew the wolf was probably acting this way because it was starving. Its fierceness came from hunger. So Francis made a deal. He proposed a pact. "Brother Wolf," he said, "if you promise to never ever harm another person or animal again, I will make sure the people of this town feed you every single day. You will never have to be hungry again." Can you guess what the wolf did? It bowed its head to show it understood. To seal the promise, Francis held out his hand, and the wolf lifted its big front paw and gently placed it right into Saint Francis's hand. They made a solemn promise, a pact of peace. With their agreement made, Saint Francis turned around and said, "Come on, Brother Wolf, let's go back to town." And the wolf followed him, walking meekly by his side. When they arrived at the town square, the people couldn't believe their eyes. They saw Saint Francis walking in with the very wolf that had terrified them for so long. At first they were shocked and a little scared, but the wolf was completely calm. Saint Francis gathered everyone around and explained the deal he had made. He told them, "Brother Wolf has promised never to hurt you again, but you must promise to feed him. Will you agree?" The people of Gubbio, seeing this miracle of peace right before them, were filled with joy. They all shouted, "Yes, we promise," and they kept their word. From that day on, the wolf lived peacefully in Gubbio. It would go from door to door, and people would share their food with him. He became a friend to everyone, a living reminder of the miracles Saint Francis had performed. The wolf lived for 2 more years among the people, a symbol of how peace and understanding can change everything. So what does this wonderful story teach us? It shows us the incredible power of peace. Saint Francis didn't use violence. He used love and courage. This reminds us of what Jesus teaches in the Bible. "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." Peace is always stronger than fighting. Secondly, it is about harmony with creation. The story shows that all creatures, even scary ones, are part of God's family and can live together peacefully when treated with respect. The story also teaches us to have empathy, to try and understand why others might be acting in a bad way. Francis saw that the wolf was hungry, not just evil. He didn't punish the wolf. By solving the wolf's real problem, he brought peace to everyone. And finally, it shows us that everyone deserves a chance for forgiveness and redemption. The people of Gubbio forgave the wolf, and the wolf changed its ways completely. It's a beautiful picture of how God's love can transform any heart, no matter how wild it may seem. Saint Francis teaches us to trust in God, to be kind to all of His creation, and to always, always choose the path of peace. Thank you so much for joining us for this story on Catechism for Kids. I hope the tale of Saint Francis and Brother Wolf inspires you to be a peacemaker in your own life. Remember to be kind to everyone and everything around you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more faith-filled stories. Take care and stay healthy. We'll see you next time. God bless you always.